Tell us a bit more about the credit data. Is this a sign of credit demand actually picking up and a healthy sign here? How sustainable is it?
Well, I think that the government is trying to boost infrastructure investment, and that's what the government can do to stabilize the economy. So lending more to infrastructure-related projects appears to be the government preferred policy. So I think that it does stabilize the economy in the short term.
Is it just a short-term story, or can I hope that the growth rates in China pick up meaningfully as we enter the second half of this year, first half of next year, Andy?
Well, I think that China is still facing long-term structural problems. In the short term, actually the most important good news is export. The global economy is still holding up. And then we have this infrastructure stimulus. But the long-term structural headwinds are still here: overinvestment, overcapacity. The property market is way overstretched. So we saw in the first quarter, land sales dropped by double-digit rate, and auto sales dropped by double-digit rate. These are the biggest sectors in the domestic economy. They are still yet to turn. So I think that without a policy adjustment, could these sectors kind of turn the corner and come back on their own? It's too early to tell.
Yeah, and we certainly saw that with the import data as well, which was quite a miss here, and I guess signs that the domestic side of the economy is still a bit fragile. But we are seeing when it comes to inflation, Andy, that I guess pressures are picking up now, especially when it comes to PPI prices. At a 0.4% print, is that still enough to reflate the economy or even the global economy?
Well, I think that the inflation in China is right now is driven by blue-collar shortage. Blue-collar wages is being rising quite rapidly without the productivity to match. So we have inflation pressure, especially in like services and in food stuff and so forth. Anything that depends on blue-collar labor is inflating. But white-collar labor is still facing oversupply. So the wage there is stagnating. So the middle class, primarily dominated by white-collar workers, are facing a squeeze. The inflation, I'm not sure inflation is all good news. It appears to be a squeeze on the middle class. And that's one reason why we see consumption downgrading right now.
And it's obviously very early to tell right now, Andy, but some of these things that they announced during the NPC, like tax cuts and just reducing the cost of doing business, do you think that's, these measures are going to work to address some of the issues that you just mentioned there?
Oh, they provide short-term relief. The government policy is still targeting at the supply side, trying to make it easier for companies to survive. The companies are being squeezed by rising cost and sales stagnation. So it's still about helping the companies. But this does not address the fundamental issue in China. That is that the balance between investment and consumption is not there. Household consumption income is 43% of GDP. Consumption based on household data is about 30% of GDP. So, and while investment is close to 50% of GDP, China needs a major rebalancing for the economy to be healthy. So, kind of tinkling on the edge is not going to solve the big problem.
What about, is solving the big problem going to be in the property market? We've seen contract sales bounce back quite a bit in March here. What's your sense of where the real estate market is now?
Well, we have seen in the past that in every property downturn, companies report big contract sales numbers. I think that how solid these numbers are, it's hard to tell. And it seems like a completed transaction. Completed transactions tend to mean more. We're still seeing very weak numbers there. And the property sales, reported property sales last year reached 17% of GDP. And to think that this is sustainable is I think is irrational. The property sector, the property market cannot be so large. China reported sales of nearly 1.7 billion square meters last year of new properties, enough housing for about 100 million people. So and the properties under construction close to 6 billion square meters, enough for 300 million people. I think it's fair to say that the property market is overstretched, and trying to go back to property to prop up the economy is irrational, and it will not work.